Have you ever been overwhelmed by emotions? Felt as though your mind is at war with itself, calm one moment, stormy the next? Why do some people seem unfazed by life's chaos, while others fall apart from the smallest ripple? What is their secret? The answer lies not in modern hacks or emotional quick fixes. It lies in ancient wisdom. In 5 timeless Stoic habits, practiced by emperors, philosophers, warriors, designed to bring mastery over the most unpredictable force, your own emotions. Let's begin. Habit number 1, negative visualization. Imagine this. You wake up tomorrow and everything you treasure is gone. Your job, your health, the people you love. It's a horrifying thought, isn't it? But to the Stoics, this wasn't something to fear. It was something to practice. They called it premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. It wasn't pessimism, it was preparation. Seneca would often remind himself that loss is not a question of if, but when. By imagining loss, we awaken appreciation. You hug a loved one tighter when you've imagined never holding them again. You walk slower through your home when you've pictured losing it. Negative visualization doesn't make you depressed. It makes you grateful. It grounds you in the present. It shows you the truth. Nothing is promised, and everything is precious. Try it. Before you complain today, ask yourself, how would I feel if this were gone tomorrow? Habit number 2, daily reflection. Marcus Aurelius ruled the world's most powerful empire, yet every evening he sat in silence with himself. He didn't post about it. He didn't record it for others. He simply wrote, reflected, questioned. He asked himself what he did well, what he did poorly, what emotions ruled him, and what virtues guided him. His journal, what we now call meditations, wasn't written to inspire us. It was written to remind him who he was trying to become. And that's what daily reflection does. It turns vague emotion into clear awareness. It transforms impulsive behavior into conscious choice. It separates the noise of the day from the signal of your soul. Tonight, before you sleep, ask yourself, where did I let anger win? Where did I act with wisdom? What can I do better tomorrow, even by 1 degree? Reflection isn't weakness. It's discipline, it's clarity, it's growth. Habit number 3, detach from outcomes. We've all been there. You prepare, you plan, you give your all, and still, failure, rejection, silence, it hurts, and it makes you question, why even try? But Stoicism answers that clearly. Your duty is effort, not outcome. Your task is to act with virtue, not to control the results. Epictetus said, make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens. Let that sink in. You can write the perfect message, but you can't control if they reply. You can eat healthy and still fall ill. You can love purely and still be left. Detach from the illusion of control. Focus on your input. Detach from expectations. Attach to your values. That's where freedom lives. In doing your best and letting life unfold. Habit number 4, the pause. When insult strikes, when chaos erupts, when frustration builds, pause. Just pause. Don't speak. Don't post. Don't retaliate. Not yet. Take 1 breath. 2 if needed. Let the emotional wave rise and fall. The Stoics believed that this space between trigger and reaction is sacred. It's where virtue is born. It's where your higher self can speak if you let it. Viktor Frankl echoed this idea centuries later. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space lies our power to choose. Don't give away your power by reacting instantly. Reclaim it by mastering the pause. Because anyone can react, but few can respond. Practice today. When emotion surges, pause. Choose patience over impulse. Reason over reaction. Habit number 5. Voluntary discomfort. In a world that praises comfort, the Stoics chose the opposite. Not because they were masochists, but because they wanted freedom. Seneca would go days eating the simplest food, wearing coarse clothing, sleeping on the ground. Why? To remind himself that he could survive it, that he was not fragile, that his happiness was not dependent on luxury. Discomfort reveals strength. It humbles the ego. It trains the mind. Take a cold shower. Fast for a morning. Walk instead of drive. Sleep without a pillow. Speak your truth when silence feels safer. Every act of chosen discomfort expands your resilience. And when life throws you into real hardship, you won't break. Because you've already met discomfort and made it your ally. Let's bring it. All together. The Stoics didn't believe emotions were bad. They believed untrained emotions were dangerous. So they trained. With visualization, with reflection, with surrender, with stillness, with strength. Which habit speaks to you most? Which one will you begin today, not tomorrow? Comment below. Reflect publicly or silently. But reflect, like if this resonates. Share with someone who needs stillness. Subscribe if you want more truth over noise, more wisdom over reaction, more stoicism for a stronger, steadier life. Because when you master your emotions, you don't lose your humanity. You reclaim it. Let's now take a deeper look into why these habits matter. Not just in theory, but in daily, messy, emotional life. Think of the last time you felt overwhelmed. Maybe it was a disagreement with someone close. Maybe it was a wave of anxiety that came out of nowhere. Or perhaps it was that deep frustration you felt when things didn't go your way. In those moments, we don't just feel emotion. We become emotion. We are no longer observers. We are caught. The Stoics believed that the mind can either be the source of suffering or the source of serenity, but it cannot be both. And that's where these 5 habits transform from philosophy into power. Negative visualization, for instance, isn't about pessimism. It's about immunity. The more you prepare for difficulty, the less it can surprise or destroy you. Imagine an athlete training with resistance bands. The point isn't to make the exercise harder for its own sake. It's to build strength so that when the real moment comes, they're ready. That's what imagining loss does for the soul and reflection. That's not a feel-good ritual. That's tactical. That's accountability. How many people wander through life without ever stopping to ask, am I getting better? Am I wiser than I was last year? Or have I just gotten busier, louder, more distracted? Reflection draws the line between action and progress. It helps you measure the distance between who you are and who you're meant to be. Now, detachment from outcomes, that's the one that sounds the most radical, because we've been taught to chase goals, crush milestones, seek validation. But how often do those goals leave us empty when we reach them? How often does validation vanish the moment it's not reinforced? Epictetus knew this. That's why he taught his students to love effort, not applause. To love discipline, not recognition. because only one of those can be controlled, and only one leads to freedom. Then comes the pause, the heartbeat of all wisdom. If you've ever said something you regret, you know the cost of a moment's reaction. The Stoics practiced silence, not because they feared confrontation, but because they respected words. They knew once released, words can't be taken back. So they learned to breathe, to wait, to respond with the mind, not the mood, and discomfort, our final teacher. Discomfort is the forge where courage is born. In a world that tells you to avoid, distract, escape, Stoicism tells you to lean in. To voluntarily choose discomfort, not because you like pain, but because you understand power, because you want to be unbreakable, because you want to know, deep in your bones, that you can face discomfort and still be whole. Consider this. What if every difficulty you face isn't there to stop you, but to shape you? What if the things that challenge your emotions are the very things strengthening your character? The Stoics weren't superhumans. They got angry, they feared, they suffered. But they didn't let those emotions become their identity. They didn't hand the keys of their mind to outside events. They remained the captain of their inner world. And so can you. When you rise each morning, don't just wake up. Begin. Begin your training. Begin your practice. Not once in a while. Daily. Because mastery isn't found in intensity, it's found in consistency. Remind yourself, your peace is not found in a perfect day. Your peace is built in how you face an imperfect one. Train your mind like the Stoics did, quietly, privately, relentlessly, one thought at a time, one choice at a time, one breath at a time, and with time, those 5 habits become more than habits.